Dear students, this module is organization of the front office organization. The front office department is the most visible section in the hotel and is equally important and depends on the organization of the front office with its staff. The front office department is responsible for the sale of the hotel room through a systematic method of reservation, followed by registration and assigning rooms to the customers. The term sale of rooms may appear misleading to those unfamiliar with the industry. Sale means the use of hotel rooms at a specified price. The room is termed sold for a day when the guest rents out for stay in the room. Room tariff is the rate charged per room and is computed for a revenue day, which usually begins at noon of a particular day and ends at the 12 hours of the next day noon. In other words, the room charges are levied for a revenue day between noon and the next noon. Of course, a room may be sold half a day as well, for which special rates are applicable. Such rates are referred to as half a day rates. The objective of this module, front office organization, is to describe the functional sections and their role in front office department of a hotel and assist in understanding the hierarchical flow of the personnel at the front office. Thus, the role of front office is to reserve, receive, register, assign rooms to the guest and act as a continuous source of information to guests during the stay at the hotel. A section of the front office is called the reservation. This section is termed as the hub of the front office department. The request for the reservation of rooms from various sources are received and the information is processed, properly documented, stored and retrieved at the appropriate time to ensure the guest his room upon arrival. Room, the chief product of the hotel, being a highly perishable commodity, the reservation department ensures that the rooms are not allowed to perish. This section called reception handles this particular activity. The personnel in this section actually welcome and receive the guests, assign them a room after a few registration formalities. The front office of a hotel is organized into different functional sections, each responsible for a particular area of work. The factors affecting the organization of the front office department are: number one, size of the hotel. Large hotels may employ more staff and tend to have a greater specialization among the various sections and its staff. In smaller hotels, one member may be responsible for wide range of duties. Number two, standard of service is also a factor while we design the front office organization. High class hotels usually provide more personal services for guests and hence expect a greater specialization. Another factor is depending on the type of guests. Business clients expect efficient check-in and check-out service. A tourist hotel may need a greater information on the details pertaining to the city and the local assistance and needs less clerical and cashiering duties. But whereas for an airport hotel, guests may check in and check out at any time during the 24 hours of the day. This may require a front desk team to be in duty at all times round the clock. Now, let us see the functions and services of the front office department. The function of the front office department will depend on the type and size of the hotel. Some of the functions of the front office are to sell the rooms, to reserve the rooms before the arrival of the guest, to register the guest, to assign a room, to coordinate with other departments, namely the food and beverage and housekeeping department, and to provide the guest with the required information as and when required, to maintain the room status information, to maintain the accounts of the guests, and to settle the bills during the checkout from the hotel. These are the different functions of the front office department. Now let us go on to see the organization chart of the front office. The organizational chart of the front office depicts the typical organization of staff at the front desk. The members of the staff at the front office depends on various factors, namely the size of the hotel, standard of service that is offered to the guest, type of guests. This is the organization chart of the large hotel, and this may be like this. The department is headed by the front office manager, and he is at the top of the hierarchy and has with him the entire authority over other staffs in the department. Down below him is the middle level employees, namely the assistant front office manager and the front office supervisor. They act as a source of workforce between the top and the low level employees. They delegate the work to the next level of employees down the hierarchy. They are telex operator who handles all communication tools, reservation assistant, the person in charge of documenting reservation activities, information assistant who gets involved with paging, lobby services, and so on. Registration assistant, who is also called as a receptionist. These employees in the low level actually does and handle all physical work of the front office department and reports to their higher level authorities, their supervisors, and the supervisors in turn gives an overall report of the activities to his authority assistant front office manager, and he in turn compiles an overall status to his top authority front office manager, and these all are part of the administrative control that exists between the employees with both the downward flow and the upward flow. Apart from this, there also exists operational control relationship in maintaining the accounting part at the front office, namely the night auditor who does all accounting process with the reports prepared by the front office cashier. This is how the employees in the front office functions with their own responsibilities and also coordinate with others in the department, with all other departments too. The same may be a different situation at the front office of a small hotel. Now let us see the organization chart for a small hotel. This chart has less employees and less operational and administrative control of relationships that exist between the employees. The employees here in a small hotel take and share most of the responsibilities over and over again, all the activities of the front desk. For example, there is a supervisor to manage and coordinate the activities at the top level. Under him, at the low level of hierarchy, we can see that there is front office cashier, front office assistants who could manage the entire process of reservation, lobby services, reservation, guest relations, travel desk operations, telecommunications, and so on. Next, let us see about the front office personnel, the employees for the front desk operations. In order to fulfill the responsibilities at the front desk, the front office may be divided into the following sections: reservation, reception, telecommunication, mail and information, guest relation officer, front office, cashiering, lobby desk, which is otherwise termed concierge, business center, night auditor, transport, valet parking. So these are the different functions sections at the front desk. Let us now see about all these in detail. The first one, reservations. The staff in the reservation office includes the reservation manager, and the reservation clerk under the manager. The reservation manager would be the control of this section and would organize the staff rotations, establish and maintain a higher standard of work during reservations and overbooking policy decisions. The reservation clerk takes up the responsibility of the reservations made by the various modes such as telephone, fax or in person. They record and document all the reservation details. All kinds of demand for room reservation are to be handled at this reservation section of the front office. Immediately on the receipt, each one of the demands is to be answered and filed. Every day, a list is to be established which comprise the expected arrivals and expected departures with special guests separately listed as very important persons, VIP, commercially important persons, CIP, and special attention guests as SPAT, SPAT. It would be possible at any time to know the number of reservations being confirmed for any particular day. The next section is reception. The staff in this reception section includes the reception manager, supervisor, senior receptionist and receptionist. The front desk is controlled by the reception manager and their duty is to see that the hotel achieves a maximum revenue and highest levels of room occupancy as far as possible. It is also the responsibility of the front desk manager to monitor and motivate their entire staff as well as to maintain a high profile with the guests. This helps to ensure that a quality service is being rendered by the front office department in particular and the hotel in general. The specific responsibility of the reception supervisor is to guarantee the smooth running of the front desk. They organize the duty rotas and handle the guest complaints. The notification and greeting of the very important persons termed VIPs, commercially important persons, CIPs would also be the duty of this reception supervisor. The senior receptionist in this section is in charge of each shift to all the staff. The senior receptionist will take up the responsibility for assigning rooms to guests dealing with group arrivals and handling guests' immediate problems or any queries. The receptionist prepare for the guest's arrival, greet the guest when they arrive, check the guest into the hotel room, assign suitable rooms and check the guest's method of payment, cash or credit. They also keep the record of the status of each room in this hotel. The next section of the front desk is telecommunication. Telecommunications control the mail and all types of messages. It is equipped with all the information of the hotel facilities and the city in which the hotel property is located. This section of the front office in small hotels may also deal with the messages for guests, their mails, handling their keys and any other information that the guest may ask such as local sightseeing places, shopping places and so on. The hotel pays a lot of attention in making the front office attractive and clean with flower arrangements if necessary. Manually, this counter is handled in two sections. One for the receptionist who registers the guest into the hotel during check-in. Number two for information receptionist who stands at the guest alphabetical rack and controls all the key racks in the department. The front office assistant must be able to answer all queries about flight, bus, train timetables and so on. Sightseeing places in the city, etc. should be answered by this staff. He should be in the position to recommend tours in the immediate surrounding and future distances in the city. The front office assistant must know all about the restaurant, bars and other facilities and services that is rendered by the hotel. There is no tangible profit in providing all these information service, but it gives the guest, the customer, the feeling that the hotel makes every possible effort to render its effective service. In large hotels, the information services often have their own desks. It is of course not possible that an assistant has all these items required for good information service in his mind, but he should have enough material such as folders, etc., and provide the knowledge how to use it. Staff in this telecommunications section include the telephone supervisor and telephone operators for both day and night operations. The telephone supervisor and the telephone operator process all incoming and outgoing calls through the hotel switchboard. These staff need a good language and communication skills. They also operate the hotel's paging system, a communication service to certain members of hotel and management. A vital role of the telephone department is to act as a communication center in the events of emergency such as a fire accident, theft, and also very important during natural calamities such as an earthquake, cyclone, and floods. In addition to telecommunication, there is another section called mail and information. A mail and information counter is normally found only in very large hotels that offer an exorbitatory service, and as mentioned earlier has now generally been incorporated into the concierge, which is the lobby service. The mail and the information section comprises the mail and the information supervisor, mail and information clerk. The mail and information supervisor is responsible for the team of mails, and the information clerk who gives out guest keys and deliver guest mails and also messages. They are also responsible for dealing with guests, visitors, and provide information on the hotel and local attractions. They would also carry a supply of local postage stamps and stationery whenever requested by the guest. The mail and information desk provides some of the special information requests made by the business clients. The next to see is about Guest Relations Office. Guest Relation Officer GRO usually has a desk in the main lobby, that is in the concierge. Their main responsibility is to make the guest feel personalized, welcome, and provide a more personal service. Very often by simply talking to guests who are traveling on their own and perhaps feel lonely staying in the strange new town or a city. GROs, the guest relation officers, also handle the guest problems and complaints and always become involved to care the VIPs and the frequent guests. The next is front office cashiering. Staff in this front office cashier section will include the cashier supervisor and the cashiers. The cashier supervisor has full responsibility of all cash and methods of payment made by the guests, as well as supervision of the work of front office cashiers. The front office cashiers are responsible for the opening, preparation, and settlement of all guests, the resident guest accounts. They check to ensure that all charges are added to the guest bills and the settlements are properly processed. Front office cashiers also administer safe deposit system of the hotel. In hotels which have overseas visitors, that is the customers from foreign countries, also have the need for foreign currency exchange service. The front office cashier must have a knowledge on all these accounting principles too. and the basic front office accounting procedures of the hotel. He reports to the income accountant in the finance section and accounting department. He performs the following duties: requisition and maintenance of all cash and bank transactions that happen for a particular day, post guest charges and credit into respective guest folios. Number 3, settle all the guest bills at the time of departure, that is during checkout. The front office has to accumulate all charges made by the guests during their stay in the hotel. These charges are then billed to the section by means of vouchers issued by the different service centers of the hotel, such as telephones, bars, restaurants, and so on. The guest account can be kept in handwritten form through a visitor's tabular ledger with the help of machine or computer. Nowadays, we know that all these are taken place using the computer softwares. The other department is lobby desk, which is termed as concierge. The bell desk is mainly responsible for luggage handling of the guests, and it consists of a group of uniformed staff for guest services. In large hotel, this section has an independent status. The concierge department comprises a large group of uniformed staff, including head hall porter, termed as bell captains, lobby services manager, doorman, porters or pagers, sometimes called as bellboys too. The role of the head hall porter is in charge of all the uniformed staff in his section, the concierge, and normally works from a desk in the main lobby. The following are some of the duties and services for which this team is responsible: control of all the uniformed staff, and they have a close liaison with the front office manager and other departments, namely the housekeeping department and security department and so on. Giving of information to guests concerning hotel services and local directions. This team also guide in message taking and issuing the room keys, the booking of theatre tickets and confirmation of airline passages are also done by this team. Arranging for the hire of cars, solving of guest problems and queries about the location and the recreational facilities around the hotel property is also taken care by this section. Next, let us learn about business center. In recent days, people expect hotels to provide a wide range of facilities and services to meet their own specific needs. Such a range of services may include fax, photocopying, and other secretarial works. There may also be a demand for translation and interpreting services, as well as the hire of equipment such as laptop computers, portable telephones, and dictaphones. The organization of private meeting rooms is also one of the duties of the business center staff. If a hotel has many non-English speaking guests, then a bilingual secretary may also be required. This is the function of the business center. Next, let us see about night auditor. The front desk is fairly quiet during night, and night has traditionally been a time when duties involving paperwork and checking of figures are performed. These are called the audit duties. Audit duties comprise the checking and completion of guest and hotel accounts, balancing of the hotel revenue figures, as well as producing statistics and summaries of the hotel revenue to the management. In the past, most cashier billing systems audit duties were done either manually or by using simple mechanical or electronic machines. However, nowadays with the arrival of computerized systems, the software does most of the works automatically by the computers throughout the day. The need for billing and audit staff is therefore greatly reduced, and the night audit duties have become much simpler, usually only requiring of computer printouts of the hotel's revenue and statistical information. One of the most important tasks which night auditors supervise is the backup of the computer system. This involves making copies of all the important files in the computer. Occasionally, staff may complete manual summary sheets and undertake special checks. Next, we will see about travel desk. A travel desk functions on creating a memorable and remarkable experience to the hotel guests to meet their travel needs. The employee at this travel desk must be familiar with the area and all the tourist attractions and activities the place can offer to the guest. Experienced employees can also assist the guests with planning their itinerary from a travel desk. Guests will appreciate this added benefit and will certainly take the advantage of this amenity whether they are visiting from a far place. Many travel desks offer best deals on experiences that guests would have missed to receive if they went straight to the source. Enhancing the guest experience is the first thought that every hotelier wakes up to each day. By initiating an active travel desk as part of their premium service in the hotel will add to the services of the effective quality. Next section is valet parking. Most luxurious hotels and some mid-scale hotels offer hotel valet parking as an upgraded service for their guests. Hotel valet parking allows the guests to leave their cars at the entrance of the hotel, usually in a designated area. This drop-off area is normally roped off. A hotel valet usually wears an uniform or an identifying badge. The hotel valet then takes the key and gives the token to the owner. Later, on the need of the car from the guest, the token may be presented by the guest to the valet and the valet brings the car to the guest. This is how the valet parking functions. Finally, let us see some of the front office staff rules and regulations to be kept in mind by the front office staff on duty. Punctuality is the utmost need. Be inspired and motivated. Dress up simple and be highly groomed. There is no mine, everything is ours while working in the hotel. Breaks are important, but don't take an extensive break. Never ever leave the front desk unattended. Always communicate your position with your teammates and superiors. Keep your eyes open, observe and check the hotel environment permanently. Report if you come across any irregularity. It is the responsibility to keep the property clean and stylish. Every guest is a VIP, a very important person. Never say, I don't know or it's not my job, but always offer an alternative, mostly a positive alternative. Keep the mobile on silent mode and do not speak on mobile in front of the guest and in guest areas. As a conclusion to this module, front office organization, it is vital that all the employees of the hotel and especially the front office department are within the reach of the guests throughout their stay to create a memorable experience. Whether the employees are working behind the front desk, at the housekeeping or in the restaurant or cafe, each employee should treat every hotel guest with the kind of hospitality. And remember the rule, the customer is the king of the service, especially all the hotel services. Thank you.